Hi, everyone. I would say it's good to see you, but I can't. I wish I could. I'm going to do a brief presentation today. It's not a part of the lesson plan, but I think it will help a lot of you. It's on how to establish a routine. And it's geared towards those of you who may be struggling with the lack of structure or you have a tendency to procrastinate. Virtual learning is the new normal. We don't know if or when we'll return to the traditional school setting. So, your success in your classes is going to depend on your attitude, the effort you put in, and the systems that you create for yourself in order to hold yourself accountable. So, if you're one of those people, keep watching. First thing to consider is when and where you work best. You got your morning people, your afternoon people, and your evening people, which I've included on this side. Note that I have not included any times after 10 p.m. You don't want to be doing your work after 10 p.m. Science shows that if you are disrupting your circadian rhythm, which is your body's natural sleep pattern, then you are more likely to experience feelings of depression, which some of you have said that you're feeling already just because you're already quarantined and isolated from those that you normally spend time with. So add those two things together, and that's a recipe for some possible negative feelings going on. As far as where you work best, you want to pick somewhere that's quiet, it's a comfortable temperature, it's away from your phone, your TV screens, which kind of lead into the next one. They're distracting. If we're feeling frustrated, we're more likely to give up if we know that we can just go on our TV or our screen and forget about it. You might also want to sit away from any temptations, not just virtual, but food, snacks, things that will distract you from your work. This is a suggested schedule for my morning people. The people who do well with a traditional school schedule, this is probably the best schedule for reaching your teachers and getting help because you can see that all of your classwork is taking place in a regular school day, which is when teachers will be ready to help you. And if you're done by 3:30, then you still have the afternoon to do whatever you want. The one problem I could see with starting so early, especially with your first class here, is that some teachers may not have posted their daily lessons by 7 o'clock. So you may want to go back. I do encourage every student that whenever you wake up, before you put your, get your breakfast, before you do any activities, go ahead and look online and record any daily assignments in a planner or a calendar of some sort. You don't have to get started on them just yet, but at least you know what your day holds so that you can take this breakfast time to figure out how you might need to change your schedule, especially if you have a heavier load or a lighter load for that day. So that's morning. If you're someone who likes to get started a little bit later, like not 6:30, but also not noon, this might be a good schedule for you. Again, you want to record your daily assignments in your planner before you do anything at all. The great thing about this schedule is that your teachers should have posted their lesson plans by the time you start your first lesson. This is also still a very good time to reach your teachers because most of your work is done by 3:15. The only problem I can see is with your class 4 not being able to get help from that teacher. It also means that there's less free time in the afternoon for you. So if you value that, you may want to move to a morning schedule. Moving on to our night owls. I know there are a lot of you out there. So note that your breakfast still isn't very late. This is not an excuse to sleep in and disrupt your circadian rhythm. If you're sleeping in late, that means you're going to bed late. You don't need to go to bed after 10 p.m. So here, your morning is basically free until noon. The only thing you absolutely should do is write down your assignments in your planner. And email. This is a good time also to email any teachers if you need help. Note that all of your classes are starting afternoon. So teachers definitely will have posted lessons by the time you record them. There are a lot of cons to this schedule, and this is the one I'd probably recommend the least, because you see here you have 1, 2, 3 classes back to back, then dinner, then class. So your only free time really during the day is before noon. This is also the worst schedule for reaching teachers because you've only done half of your classwork by the time the regular school day is over. As far as which classes to do when, I would schedule your favorite class, your best class, whatever class you feel most confident in, schedule that first because that's going to give you a feeling of confidence going into your day, especially if you need that boost to stay motivated. So if you're that type of person, do your best or your favorite class first. The only other recommendations I would say is to maybe start your hardest class either second or third. Don't save your hardest class for last because by this point you may not be able to get help from your teachers because it's already 3:30 and this is the morning schedule. So I would say maybe schedule your hardest class in 2 or 3, or even break it up. Like do 45 minutes of your hardest class and then 45 minutes of your easiest here. Go to lunch and then split it up again for class 3. There's lots of ways that you can rearrange the schedule. You don't have to spend an hour and a half at a time working on your class stuff. That's just in keeping with the traditional school schedule. Finally, some extra tips. Try to eat healthy. I know that it's hard to get to the grocery store, especially if you don't have a car, and there are probably lots of snacks around. But try not to snack too much. It's probably just a sign that you're bored. So if you're bored, try and get outside, move around, go for a run, go shoot some hoops, make an obstacle course in your backyard, play with a pet, go sit outside and read, go lay out. Just try not to snack too much. Limit your screen time. I know everybody tells you this, especially before bed, because it makes it hard to go to sleep if your eyes have been like that the whole time. And also, there's just a lot of negativity out there, a lot of scary news. So I think it's great if you want to stay informed, but not so much that you're checking your phone every 5 or 10 minutes. Speaking of checking things, check in with your teachers. We are worried about you. We want to hear from you. We want to help you. Know that we're adjusting to this too. And some of us are just like you. When we don't have that set structure, we kind of flounder. So check in with your teachers, check in with your friends and families. That's a nice brain break or distraction. Dare I say, read for pleasure. If you want a book, name me the title, and I'm pretty sure I can find it for you in a virtual format. So that's all I got for you, my procrastinators. Please let me know if you'd like me to have a video conference with you and help you come up with a schedule that's more tailored to your situation. I'm happy to do that. I'll be thinking of you and missing you all, and hoping to see you very soon. Bye.